Hi everyone, this is Linda again, and this is kind of a follow-up to the stacking stitches video I did about how do I bring a bunch of sewing machine motifs in so that I can do them in my embroidery mode. And this just kind of is a follow-up. It's something that I really like about the software, is that I can't always remember different things about my software. So I'm actually going to go and I can actually tell what stitch this was or what stitch this was in my software. So right now, everything, if you notice there's a solid line and there's orange squares around the outside edge, what I want to do is I'm going to ungroup it so that these aren't grouped as individual pieces, as separate, as a one big design. Sorry about that. So it's actually saved. So I'm going to click on this one and I'm going to come down here where it says notes and settings. And if this one is usually the one that's selected, and I'm going to click on the little gears here, and there's going to be a lot of information in here, and I'm going to click on the little pencil here. So in here is actually lots of information about that particular thing. It told me what stitch I used, which category I used, the type I used, a triple I used, the stitch length, and I left everything kind of the same. I didn't do any changes here. And then it's also made up of a second row of stitches. And then I added some additional notes. Oh, I see a typo in there, so I can actually go in here and I can fix that. And now I have that information, and it will save as long as I save that design. And let's say this particular one was a little bit different. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go through, and it's going to keep all that information again. And I'm going to come down here, and I showed down here, I used the heirloom stitches, and it's a repeat, because remember we used 2 different stitches to create this. And so instead of it just being one line, we'd used encore, and it became a repeat of the stitches. So that's why that's one so long. So if I come to this one, I have this information, and it's a lot shorter. So it does keep that information. The other thing I wanted to show you is just so that you know this. So let's go into the letter tab, and I'm going to just pick on, I don't care, it doesn't really matter which font it is. Let's pick on just a small one, and I'm going to type in stitch stacking. Or stacking stitches, doesn't matter. And I'm going to hit apply, and it's going to go to the bottom. So again, this information is all saved down here. So I'm going to go to the home tab, and I'm going to come down here, and it doesn't matter which one I click on, it's all going to be there. Now, once I have exported it, it's still going to be there. So I'm going to pick on, I'm just going to export it. I'm going to leave it untitled. And then I'm going to export again, and it's going to be untitled exported. So now I'm going to do a Control A and just get rid of everything. So now when I pull this back up, all of that information is still going to be there. It's all there. And if I want to do an ungroup and then figure out what font that was, that information is there. It is also in the exported in the .vp3 file. So it's really nice. So I'm going to again do a Control A, I'm going to delete, and I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to go, let's pick on the VP3 file, which is the one that's untitled exported. I'm going to do open, but all of the information is there, and it's row after row after row after row after row, and it just keeps going until the very last thing. So it is lots of information. And if you go and you choose to print all of this, it actually will print that if you allow it in the notes to actually print your notes. So it really is a nice reference tool, because I can't help but hardly ever remember what font I used on a particular design. So it's a really nice tool. So here it says letters. I use stacking stitches. I use the script font and what information about that particular thing. Makes it really, really nice. And again, because I chose to bring up the VP3 file, it did automatically rotate it because it's going to assume I'm getting ready to sew it out. So just wanted to add that as an additional little tidbit of information. And thanks for watching.